because tea is tea. Because tea is tea, child. This is a big ass mug right here. You can put some Campbell soup in this thing, girl, and warm it up and be good for the day. You know, your sodium count will be blown through the roof. Anyway, guys, what's up? It's me, Troy. I'm drinking some Tension Tamer tea, Celestial Seasonings by some kind of shop, girl. I don't know, I guess the Celestial Seasonings is their name. You can go to Kroger's and get it on sale right now, I think, for like some price. But anyway, yes, I am back with another video regarding my reading of Bedrock Faith by Eric Charles May. As many of you guys know, we are reading this book for hashtag Read So Lit in the month of February. I'm going to be talking about my experience reading pages 200 to 300. I'm so slow, which is probably what you would consider the third act of the book. I'm not going to go into any of the summary of what this book is about, so really this video might just make more sense to, if I make sense in any way, to people who are currently going, you know, with the pace of this read along with this book, or those who have finished reading the book, or who are just curious. So if there's some spoilers, girl, I warn you ahead of time. Y'all know how I am. It's just in, you know, it's just in my nature. Like, I have to tell the shit how it is. Like, I can't talk around a lot of things, but I'm gonna try, okay? In my last video, I did not know the resolution or the whole destiny and fate of what was gonna happen to the character of Miss Hicks. I do know now. Now, I'm just gonna say this right here. I know everybody want to be mad at Stupid, and that's fine, good and dandy, hell, he get on my nerves too, but Miss Hicks, she did that to herself. I'm sorry, she did that to herself. Girl, she was just doing too much, and I'm really kind of sad about that, because I really did like her character and wanted to see more of her, because I felt like she was such a vibrant and, you know, vivid and colorful, kind of bouncy character that I was hoping to see more of. But unfortunately, she was bouncing a little bit too damn much and got her ass in trouble and did herself some very much disservice. But I will say this regarding Miss Hicks. I wish that May, and I could be completely wrong, girl, you know, I can't pick up everything in this damn book, but I could be wrong. I could have missed this. But I wish there was some foreshadowing of that whole possibility of not so much the scene or what happened, but something like, okay, here's this vivid woman, and then on the flip side, she suffers from this that could possibly be strained to the point of her being hospitalized if she does this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that there was something stated early on within the book to lead to that, because without it, I kind of feel like it just kind of worked out of the blue. But, you know, I may have missed that. So if I missed any of that, if y'all, that made sense, then please point that out to me. That aside, I'm really starting to get into the groove of the book. I feel like a lot of the little episodic chapters where we were just getting like the full brunt of Stupid's craziness is kind of over with, and we're starting to move into like the meat of the whole book, you know. And I say that because, for one thing, Miss Motley is taking much more of a presence within the book. You know, early on she kind of dibble-dabbled inside of each of the episodic plots, you know, you dibble-dabble inside of the drama, but now she's like really coming in center stage here. She's sort of like the voice of reason. She's sort of like the sensible voice. She's the voice that, you know, within all the chaos that's going on around Parkland and Stupid and the neighbors who are doing a lot to him. One being his dog doing way too much, Irma coming back way too much, but she's sort of like that voice of the person that we, the readers, sort of can lean on, you know, as we're looking in from the outside in. So really, Miss Motley, you know, I gave her a lot of shade early on in the book, but I knew she was going to kind of turn around. But at this point now, she's kind of the foundation that me as a reader, I need to sort of like, you know, not really have my voice heard, but just to have someone there who is understanding that, you know, maybe things are going a little bit too array and that they need to wheel it in some. So now that I've established that Miss Motley is like the voice of reason, I say that this is really a lot more complex to that, because even as the voice of reason, even as the character who goes about trying to make, you know, the right decisions for other characters, it kind of backfires a lot of the times, and that's what makes her complex. But, you know, with that aside, I'm starting to lean toward Miss Motley for 3 different reasons, 3 different scenarios that took place. One being is the tea regarding her marriage that got leaked out to her ass via Mr. McTeer. I was like, what? Like, really? Like, Miss Motley, you was doing it. You supposed to be a kind lady, girl. You over there sodomizing and stuff. But you know what, Miss Motley, I was living for it, girl. There's no need to be ashamed. I mean, not for you. You was doing what you could do, but Miss Molly, you got a gold star in my book. So I love getting that. So it's like, oh, look at this prim and proper teacher lady, and then on the flip side, girl, her marriage is in shambles and she's doing any and everything that she can to keep it together. And I was like, I feel you, girl. After that, there was a scene involving a funeral where Miss Molly got up to speak for one of the peoples within her community. And let me tell y'all, let me tell y'all, it was early in the morning when I was reading this scene. I had my coffee. I was slipping like, oh, Miss Molly. Oh, Miss Molly, girl, you giving it to me. You know, I was really absorbed into that whole speech that she gave at that funeral. It really was touching and sweet, and almost made me want to go to Parkland as I connected with that whole thread of reason that she was given as to why she appreciates such an individual within her life. But at the same time, I was like hell no, I don't want to go there, because soon after she gave that speech, Stu Pop brought his ass into the church and just started messing the whole damn thing up. And you know what? I was living for that too. I'm sorry. And the third thing that really made me kind of lean toward Miss Motley and make me see so much more of how complex of a character she is, and how she is like the hero, but at the same time she's the misguided, sort of kind of anti-hero. Not so much, but I kind of feel that a little bit of that. But if you all know the scene with Reggie, I'm not gonna give any details, but the whole scene with Reggie, I was like, Miss Molly is getting down with the plot on this one. I love how she said hush. I said hush, and I was like, you better go, Miss Molly, you better take over Parkland, Miss Molly, come through, Miss Molly, yes. But she was really giving it to me. I love that scene. I don't know if it was a good decision of hers to make, because I feel like she sacrificed a lot trying to do her view of the right thing. But girl, I was living for how she was taking control of the plot, and it really made her stand out a lot more within the book, given that whole aspect. And then of course there's the love triangle that she's in. So Miss Molly, I gave her a lot of shade earlier in the book, but she is very much a win now, and I'm kind of understanding what kind of character she is, and I'm kind of understanding a lot more that May is trying to kind of focus on as it regards her as a character. So Miss Molly, you know, I'm down with Miss Molly. You know, ain't nobody perfect, but I'm down with the bitch. Last character or note that I kind of want to make is, of course, Stupid. I know. Girl, I know, Stupid. You can't read this book without talking about Stupid, okay? Okay, so there's something that I really want to point out about what I appreciate about what May was doing with this character within this the third act. First, let me go ahead and just say that I've kind of relaxed on my whole sleuthing to figure out, you know, what is it, who is it behind the man. I know there's something there. I most definitely know that there's something there, but I will say this. I do love how May is sort of using Stupid's character, you know, as it pertains to the title itself, Bedrock Faith, how he is so rigid and stuck and pretty much dogged with his own faith. You know, he has a bedrock faith, and how he's so rigid with it that, you know, he feels like he can point out all the little inconsistencies with every other individual within the whole town of Parkland, whatever little inconsistency that he can point out. And no matter how ironic that it is, a small part of me is like, well, you know what? I kind of, you kind of can't help to sort of notice his conviction, and then notice the sort of inconvictions of those that he is sort of criticizing, because he's basically just pointing out the hypocritical nature of the other people within, you know, the community of the neighborhood of Parkland, their hypocritical nature as it regards, you know, people in general, as well as, you know, how them as an individual and the choices they make reflect back or do not reflect back to their religious beliefs. Very ironic how he does it. You know, he really ain't got the space or the room or the attic to criticize or judge anybody's and their transgressions. But at the same time, I love how May is using this guy, this crazy man with this bedrock faith, to point out all these little inconsistencies within the other characters. And it kind of just, you know, this conversation is nothing new, how we kind of talk about how people follow certain faiths, certain beliefs, and how, you know, they are inconsistent, while then again passing judgment on, you know, any and everybody else that they can without, you know, cleaning their own windows and stuff. I think that another thing that really shined with me showing how petty that some people can be, is the fact that, you know, there's a character who died and there was 2 churches within the book who refused to honor her or to hold her funeral service within, you know, their establishment. And I really did enjoy, you know, diving into that, because like I said, the conversation of this is not anything new, but I do love how it is sort of expressed within this book. And it's like, you can't help but not, like, for me, I couldn't help but to just like not even have spite for the character Stu Pop, but for all of the other individuals in Parkland. It's really like this strange, is dichotomy the right word? But it's really like this strange sort of eye-opening thing to read within this book, you know, having that information, that conviction, you know, shelled out through this crazy character who we know is could be the spawn of Satan himself. Anyway, leave your comments down below. Love yourself, enjoy yourself. Know that God loves you no matter what you are, or what you identify as. Unless you're a murderer. If you're a murderer, or you, okay, Troi.